I completely stopped eating food for an entire year. Well, not exactly for the whole year, but I gave up food during certain hours of the day. Some days not eating for 1, 2, or 3 days at all. Any food. And today I'm going to show you the power of fasting, the 3 things I learned from doing multiple types of fast, and also a few of the downsides I learned from fasting and what you can implement and learn from my experience. Fasting has helped me hit my fitness goals, improve my sleep, and even shed over 25 pounds in a 2-month period. In this video, I'm going to share some of the results I've had and also some of the downsides I've had with fasting. So here's what I did. I started off slow. I walked before I ran with fasting, and I highly recommend anybody doing this to do something similar. I started off doing intermittent fasting, basically eating from 12 until 7 or 8 p.m. and then having that narrow window. Once you start doing that consistently, you can start building up other types of fast. I put in a 24-hour fast once a month. Then I started building up to 24-hour fast every week. And then I started expanding upon that. Once the 24-hour fast started getting easy, I started doing 48-hour fast and 72-hour fast. And I learned a lot because I was collecting data, I was measuring, and I was seeing results firsthand. And I'm going to talk about the 3 core ways and the 3 biggest changes I saw from fasting over the past year. So after I conquered intermittent fasting, I started pushing the envelope to get 24, 48, and even 72-hour fast. And I'm going to break down all the juicy insights I learned from these findings. But before we get into that, I want you to do something that will be actually really fast. Just go ahead and click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you haven't gone ahead and done that. I'm putting out new videos every single day, so make sure you hit subscribe to get alerted about when these new videos come out. So let's go ahead and dig right in. Starting off at number 1 is a weekly caloric deficit. If you're trying to lose weight and maintain muscle, you need to think in a weekly caloric deficit. Adding a 24-hour fast really helped me hit my goals for that weekly deficit, and it allowed me to do something like this. Typically before I started fasting, Monday through Friday, I was eating very healthy, I was losing weight, but then Saturday and Sunday came along, I was partying, I was going out, I was drinking, and I was kind of in this vicious cycle of going down and then going right back up to where I was. And I think a lot of people fall into this trap where with fasting, it was able to help me make progress each week instead of maintaining. If your goals are to maintain, this structure works very well of going out all out on the weekend and then honing it in during the week. But if you're like me and you needed to cut a bit of fat, then fasting really helped me go ahead and make sure I was in this weekly caloric deficit, and the results have been great. I've lost over 25 pounds in the past 2 months, and a lot of this is up to fasting. So moving on to number 2 was my sleep quality and my sleep improvement. I was sleeping longer, I was sleeping deeper, and I was being more consistent with my sleep. There's the old saying, the not eat any food before you go to bed, and there's a lot of science behind this, and there is a lot of truth in my fasting experiences. Basically, not eating any calories past 7 or 8 p.m. gave my stomach the time to start digesting this food and not digesting it when you're sleeping. When your stomach's digesting stuff, it's going to give you irregular sleep patterns and stuff that you probably won't even notice, but you're going to wake up a little bit less refreshed. And especially when you're monitoring your sleep patterns, you're going to notice a big difference. My sleep scores were always the best and always the highest on my 1 and 2 day fast, because you're essentially eliminating all these factors and you're also giving your body a bit of a refresh. Last but not least is number 3 is embracing the suck or embracing the shit. Like, fasting is hard. Not eating for 24 hours or 2 days or 3 days, it's difficult, but it pushes you beyond something that you've ever done before. It delays gratification of eating, and it can be a very healthy way to really push your limits. And this is something that I always try to do. I always try to challenge myself to do stuff that I've never done before, to stuff that I think is going to be difficult and challenging. And if you're able to do that in one aspect of your life, you're going to be able to do that in all aspects of your life. So I highly suggest trying this out, starting slow, hit your goal, and then continue expanding on that. But always stay safe. Consult with the doctor if you have any concerns though. So fasting wasn't all rainbows, so there are some downsides, and I want you to be aware of those before you dive into this. One of the biggest downsides is your energy levels. Some days when I'm fasting, I feel fantastic, but other days I feel low, lethargic, and these were typically on the 48-hour fast, and that's essentially why I stopped doing those, because I got the best results from 24 24-hour fast. But the biggest downside is your electrolytes are your best friends. A few times when you're doing fasting, you need to make sure you're getting salt, potassium, magnesium, and a lot of these other essential nutrients. You can buy electrolyte packs, or you can add some Himalayan salt to your water. Doing this really helped my energy levels, and it was definitely a balancing act, and it never really seemed to follow a pattern. Pretty much anytime I went past the 24 hours, my energy levels started to taper, and I saw a lot of the benefits of fasting kind of diminish, where the sweet spot for me was always 24-hour fast, and that's why I continue doing a 24-hour fast every single week, and then in the middle of the week, I continue intermittent fasting. So guys, if today's video gave you any food for thought about fasting, about how to improve your health and well-being, I say start off slow, make sure that you're being safe. There's really not a lot of risk if you're staying hydrated, you're utilizing electrolytes, and you're starting off intermittent fasting and then working your way up to a 24-hour fast. In the end, the 24-hour fast just seemed to work the best for me. I seem to get the best results. I seem to be able to do it more consistently, and I also seem to really not have to be able to lose any muscle mass, where it was basically burning fat but really maintaining my muscle and my progress. Anytime I went to the gym, I felt energetic and was able to get a good lift. So consider this, try what's worked out best for you, and make sure you leave a comment below. And if you haven't yet, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe.